Welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're focusing on a company called EVOBRAND Concepts. They're using AI in some really unique ways for marketing. I was looking at their website, and it's full of words like generative AI filmmaking. Even their tagline is like, welcome to the new era of EVOBRAND Concepts. They're definitely going for a futuristic vibe, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're definitely aiming high. It seems like they're applying AI to almost every part of marketing, websites, films, campaigns, even customer engagement. It's interesting that they're not just, offering these services, but they also have this Evo Brand Academy, almost like they're trying to make AI marketing accessible to everyone.
Hmm, that's a good point. Okay, so let's break this down a bit. Everyone's throwing around the term AI these days, but what exactly do they mean by this generative AI? I'm picturing like robots writing poems and composing symphonies.
Well, you're not that far off. Generative AI is basically using these algorithms to create brand new content, text, images, videos, even music. Have you ever seen those like super realistic video game environments or those almost lifelike people in those online ads?
Yeah, I think so.
Chances are you've already seen some AI generated content without realizing it.
Wow, really? I
Yeah.
had no idea. So Evo Brand is taking this technology and applying it to marketing. Can you give me some concrete examples of how they're using generative AI for marketing? Beyond just the basic definition.
One area where they're really pushing things is personalization. We all know it's kind of a buzzword in marketing, but EvoBrand's going beyond just calling customers by name. They say they're using AI to tailor entire campaigns to specific preferences and behaviors. Imagine getting ads that are so aligned with your interests that it almost feels like they're reading your mind.
Okay, that sounds impressive, but also a little creepy. Do they have any examples of campaigns where this level of personalization was like a key factor in their success?
Well, unfortunately, they don't really give specific campaign details, but their website does have a case study where they used AI to analyze customer data and then generated these really targeted social media ads. They say it led to a big increase in clicks and conversions.
So there's at least some evidence that it's working, but I'm curious about the cost. Evo Brand talks a lot about cost savings as a benefit of using AI, but realistically, are there any hidden costs involved in implementing these complicated systems? Costs that businesses might not be aware of.
Yeah, I think that's a valid concern. AI can automate tasks and, potentially reduce labor costs. But there are definitely upfront investments to consider, like building and training these AI models. It requires specialized expertise, a lot of computing power, which can be expensive.
So it's not as simple as just flipping a switch and letting the AI do its thing.
So
Businesses need to really weigh the costs and benefits before they jump into AI marketing.
definitely, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. The decision to invest in AI will depend on things like a company's size, their budget, and their specific marketing goals.
This makes me wonder, though, why they even created this Evo Brand Academy. Is it more about establishing themselves as experts, or is it a real attempt to make AI marketing available to smaller businesses that maybe don't have the resources for, like a full-blown AI implementation?
I'd say it's probably a mix of both. By offering these courses and resources on AI marketing, they're building their brand authority and reaching a wider audience, but they're also, empowering businesses and individuals to understand and use these tools, even if they're not ready to, partner with Evo Brand directly.
It's almost like they're planting seeds for the future. They're not just selling AI services. They're also building up a community of like AI savvy marketers.
Exactly. It's a long-term strategy that could pay off big time as AI adoption continues to grow.
So we've talked about generative AI, how it might impact personalization and the cost factor. But honestly, the thing that really caught my eye was their AI filmmaking service, AI directing movies. Is this science fiction or is this something that's actually happening now?
It's definitely more reality than fantasy, but it's still pretty early stages. I don't think EvoBrand is claiming to have fully AI directed films just yet, but they are using AI to automate certain filmmaking tasks, things like editing, special effects, even suggesting plot points or dialogue.
Wow, that's really impressive. But I can't help but wonder, where does human creativity fit into all of this? Can AI really replicate the artistry and storytelling of like a human director.
Yeah, that's the big question. Right now, AI in filmmaking is mostly used as a tool to help human creativity, not replace it. It can handle a lot of the technical stuff, which frees up directors and editors to really focus on the artistic side.
I'm trying to picture a future where AI generates like a rough cut of a film, and then the director comes in and adds all those emotional nuances, refines the storytelling. It's this fascinating collaboration between humans and machines.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance between automation and artistry.
So EVOBRAND's pushing boundaries with AI filmmaking, but also making these tools more accessible. It's a pretty interesting strategy. What stands out to you as we kind of dig deeper into their overall approach?
One thing that's interesting to me is how much they emphasize customer engagement. They're not just focused on creating flashy content or automating tasks. They're also looking at how AI can be used to actually build stronger relationships with customers.
Yeah, their website mentions a lot about using AI to personalize interactions and offer 24/7 support. But can AI really create those authentic connections with customers? Isn't there a risk that it could feel, I don't know, impersonal, robotic?
That's definitely a valid concern. AI can be great for giving quick answers to common questions or offering tailored product recommendations. But for those really meaningful interactions, human empathy is still irreplaceable.
So it seems like it's all about finding that balance, right, between AI efficiency and that genuine human connection, using AI to help human representatives, not replace them entirely.
Exactly. It's not about getting rid of humans. It's about using AI to help us connect with customers on a deeper level.
It makes you wonder, though, are there any examples of companies using AI for customer engagement in a way that feels both personalized and, authentic?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
There's this one company that uses AI to analyze customer sentiment in real time and then routes those customers to the human representative who's best equipped to handle their specific needs and emotional state.
that's a pretty cool example of how AI can be used to actually enhance that human touch, not just replace it, but,
Right.
makes you wonder if we're moving towards a future where it's harder and harder to tell the difference between talking to an AI and talking to a real person. I mean, could we lose that human connection altogether?
That's a really good question and definitely something to think about. As AI keeps getting more advanced, it'll be better and better at mimicking human conversations and even emotions. I think the key is for companies to be upfront about when they're using AI and to make sure that customers always have the option to talk to a real person if they want to.
Yeah, transparency is key. Nobody wants to feel like they're being tricked into chatting with a robot.
Hmm.
But even with that, it's kind of mind-blowing to think about how our idea of what's authentic might change as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. It's like a whole new world we're stepping into, and there will be lots of challenges and ethical questions to figure out. But there's also huge potential for AI to make our lives better in all sorts of ways, including how we interact with businesses and each other.
I'm curious about your thoughts on EvoBrand's role in all of this.
Mhm.
Are they just riding the AI wave, or are they actively trying to steer it in a positive direction?
From what I've seen, they seem to be taking a pretty thoughtful approach. Their focus on education and accessibility suggests they're committed to making AI more widely available and used responsibly. But of course, it's still early, and we'll have to see if their actions match their words.
It's like watching a tightrope walker. They're balancing this incredible power of AI with the responsibility to use it ethically and for the benefit of everyone.
That's a great analogy. And just like with a tightrope walker, we'll be watching their every move with a mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of nervousness.
Okay, so we've covered their use of generative AI, the potential impact on personalization, the cost considerations, and even delved into AI filmmaking. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more thing about EvoBrand that I found interesting. Their focus on data privacy and security.
Oh yeah, that's a crucial point, especially with all this talk about AI analyzing customer data and creating personalized experiences. It's natural to wonder how EvoBrand is handling all this sensitive information they're collecting.
Exactly. So what are they saying about how they protect customer data?
Well, their website states that they're committed to following all the relevant data privacy regulations and using data responsibly. They also emphasize transparency, saying they allow customers to access and control their own data.
Okay, that's reassuring. But it also makes me think that we as consumers need to be more aware of our own data privacy. We should be asking companies how they're using our data and demanding more transparency.
Absolutely. Data privacy is a two-way street. Companies need to be responsible with our data, and we need to be informed and stand up for our rights.
So AI has all this amazing potential for personalized marketing, but it also brings up these new challenges with data privacy and security. It's a tricky balance that companies like EVOBRAND need to handle very carefully.
Definitely. And it's a conversation that everyone needs to be a part of. Businesses, consumers, policymakers, ethicists. We all need to be involved.
That's a great point. It's clear that EVOBRAND is really pushing the limits of what's possible with AI in marketing. They're using it for personalized campaigns, automating tasks, generating content, even improving customer engagement.
But they also seem to be aware of the potential downsides and are taking steps to address concerns about data privacy, ethical implications, and that changing relationship between humans and machines.
It's really fascinating to see how they're navigating this whole new world and how what they do will shapes the future of AI in marketing.
They're definitely a company to keep an eye on. Their innovative approach and focus on responsible AI make them a really interesting example of how businesses can use these powerful technologies for good.
This deep dive into Evo brand concepts has been a really thought-provoking exploration. We've talked about the exciting potential of AI in marketing, but also the challenges and ethical questions that come with it.
Yeah, we've learned that AI can be this incredibly powerful tool for things like personalization, efficiency, and creativity, but we have to use it thoughtfully and responsibly.
As we keep moving into this age of AI, it's super important to stay informed, engaged, and to keep thinking critically.
The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's a future that we're all creating together.
So we need to keep exploring, questioning, and working together to make sure AI is used in a way that benefits both businesses and ultimately all of humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, stay curious.